Supercharge your English with consistency. Welcome to another webinar from the English and Coffee podcast. In today's webinar, we will be talking about how you can supercharge your language learning with consistency. Consistency, by definition, simply means doing something the same way every time. This is the reason that pro athletes can hit the same three-pointer from the corner 9 times out of 10 during crunch time, or the reason that McDonald's French fries all taste the same. Now, how does consistency appear in someone's language learning? Well, this can be observed in someone's systematic approach to studying a language. Let's say, for example, that every day after work they read one chapter from a book that they are using to build up their vocabulary. Or every Wednesday and Thursday at 6:30, they take a lesson with their language tutor, even when they are sick or are feeling tired after a long day. The people that are consistent in their language learning have the ability to implement a discipline and follow it to a T. And it is this disciplined approach that separates them from the rest of the would-be fluent speakers of the world. Now, people that lack consistency and discipline will be the type of people that start a diet and last for only 2 weeks before they revert back to their old eating habits. These are also the people that decide to start running for 6 days and then decide not to run for the next 2 weeks because one of their friends has a birthday party or they start watching a new series on Netflix. People like this tend to be undisciplined and have a difficult time following through with most of the goals that they set for themselves. You know who they are, and maybe there are times when we have all been this person. Maybe you've started something in the past, like golfing, and had aspirations of becoming the next Tiger Woods, but then realized how much commitment to the sport it actually takes to become great. Or maybe you wanted to learn how to play guitar and soon realized that people like Jimi Hendrix and Slash literally had guitars glued to their hands for most of their lives. You see, a lot of people want to reach a high level of success, but they are not willing to put in the work. They are not willing to sacrifice short-term gratification for long-term and sustainable success. Consistency is what can help someone complete a 5K marathon. Consistency is what helps a passionate artist grow a small following of 20 people to thousands of fans that can fill a coliseum. The people that truly embrace consistency and maintain a high level of discipline are the people that the undisciplined and inconsistent people marvel at when they are observed doing the impossible or seemingly unattainable. You know that guy at work that speaks English like it's nothing, or the girl on the tennis court with the killer backhand that you can never return. Why do you think that these people effortlessly perform these tasks like they've never had to try hard one day in their lives? The answer is simple. These people were more than consistent during their practice sessions, mentor sessions, self-study, learning, and exercise routines. These types of people are not trying to lift a mountain in one day, but one pebble at a time. They realized that if they just lift one tiny little pebble every day, that eventually they will move the mountain. And the pebble may be something just as simple as twisting their wrist 2 degrees to the left or giving the basketball an underspin as it leaves the fingertips. But throughout this methodical process, they are able to make subtle and critical changes that can only be observed when someone has spent enough time doing something to take an accurate assessment of their efforts. And since we are talking about language, do you know your own method or approach to learning a language that gives you the best results? Have you invested time in understanding why you still struggle with pronouncing the TH sound or still can't pronounce the schwa sounds in English? Do you know how much time you spent studying English 3 weeks ago and what you did exactly? If you find it hard to remember what you did, that's probably because you are not consistent in your approach to learning languages. If you were consistent, you would probably say something like, 3 weeks ago, I attended 3 sessions with my tutor and read 5 chapters of my book because that's what I do every week. There would be no guesswork, and you would know because you would be consistent. You may even go as far as being able to pull out a journal and tell someone what new phrases you studied, or even give a short summary of the chapters that you read, if that was part of your learning plan. Consistency is a powerful tool, and I encourage you all to take a look at your language journey and find ways to be consistent. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this webinar, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you feel that this video was helpful and that you learned something new, share it with a friend that is also studying a language. And until next time, remember, learning language is a life skill, not a sprint to the finish line.